yourself, damn Saiyan.
We finally get Dragon Ball Kakumei Chapter 21, and this one looks intense. After the cliffhanger we got in the last chapter where the ending was all colored, we get the beginning of this entire chapter in full color. We get Caulifla, Kaba, the lieutenant, and Bulma. They're flying away from the scene, just have saved Bulma's life, and they're heading toward, I don't even know, because this being is strong fast enough to basically go anywhere on the planet. They're not going to be really able to hide her, not for very long. But even though there's danger, Bulma wants to stop because she's got something to tell them. So the lieutenant finds a spot, a divot in the canyon, where they can all basically take a timeout and reevaluate their options. Bulma has been hiding something up her sleeve. She's taken precautions for this very moment. Remember, they've all been training and essentially looking forward to the day where the angels come back, so it would make sense that Bulma would be the type to kind of have her shit together faster than everybody else. So weirdly, Kaba is the one that recognizes what the capsule actually is. It reduces things into a very small space. Maybe it's because he's got prolonged exposure to Vegeta, and Vegeta's married to, you know, the heirs of Capsule Corp. Maybe that's the reason. But Bulma explains that the drawback is that they cannot put living beings inside the capsule, and like when Bulma just spells it out for everybody and Caulifla is still like, what's your point, because she doesn't understand, it shows that Kaba is more like Vegeta, where he's more analytical and understands things, and Caulifla is definitely like, you know, girl Goku, because once Bulma presses the button, it turns into a huge house. So Bulma combined the tech from the Tuffles, which are the most intellectual and technologically savvy race in this universe, probably the cosmos, and combined it with her tech, so now they can go inside one of the capsules and shrink it from the inside out. And this is not the only thing that Bulma has up her sleeve. She pulls out a case and she's bringing us back to DBZ, because if capsules weren't enough, the 90s also introduced to us scouters, and she has a few of them, except these are designed differently. They don't even cover the entire eye. They kind of just look like arrows, and I think what she's hinting at is that they can all wear these, keep in touch with each other, and she will hide in the capsule. And she thanks them for keeping her safe. I guess they'd have to keep the capsule safe too, because if the angels or the venerable heir or his minions find the capsule, they can just easily destroy her inside by just crushing it. And this is like a sizable capsule. It's not like a mini capsule like what we've seen before. This one looks like it's the size of, you know, your hand. You can kind of like take a good hold on it. It's not as easy to hide as a regular capsule would be. Hopefully they won't ever lose it, but I think that Bulma has the control of shrinking and growing from the inside as well. Plus now she can communicate with the rest of the team. Bulma made herself like a 5-star luxury hotel inside the capsule. Like, she's got the lazy boy up, got her feet up. She's gonna just chill in there, and hopefully they keep her safe in the meanwhile while they end up fighting the opponents. And even Caulifla realizes the difference between Bulma and Vegeta, stating that Vegeta is nothing like Bulma because Bulma's got too much class. And this is actually really funny because Kaba's like, yeah, now we get to decide like who's going to take care of this, who's going to protect Bulma. Anybody would do. And Caulifla calls his ass out like, what are you talking about? You should hear yourself, Mr. Vegeta here and Mr. Vegeta there. Like, there would be anybody else that could protect Bulma to Vegeta standards. So it's settled. Kaba is now in charge of Bulma's protection, and even Caulifla points out that maybe if you protect her and you succeed, you'll finally get the esteem of your idol, which Kaba's a little bit unsure on, like, if she's making fun of him or if she's, you know, actually being sweet. But the lieutenant's like, nah, she is full of confidence for you, and she actually likes you, which, you know, Caulifla's like blushing for that, but Kaba's like, I want to hear him. I want to hear these words from her mouth. I want her to say that she actually cares for me and likes me. And I think that this is more like a camaraderie thing, not like a love thing. And so it is now 100% settled, which honestly, this could be the last time that these three are talking to each other, because Kaba is going to go the opposite direction. Basically even says his goodbye. He says that once this demon is 6 feet under, like, yeah, we are going to go back to training with Kale. And Admiral Fennel, which I've been calling Lieutenant, my bad, Admiral, she decides to go with Caulifla and go back to the demon to eliminate it, or at least buy time in order for Kaba to get far enough away to save Bulma, and that is the new plan. They're about to go, they're ready for it, it's time to jump into gear, and Bulma stops them, and the reason is simple. Kaba, you don't need to keep protecting me. That's the whole point I made the capsule. Put the capsule down, put it somewhere, hide it somewhere, and then go off with Caulifla and Fennel to destroy the demon. Once you destroy the demon, you can come back. Bulma's key is hidden in there. She's practically safe unless somebody finds her by chance. And so Kaba doesn't need to run away here. He just needs to head straight for the demon, similar to Caulifla, similar to Fennel. And so Kaba cannot afford any more mistakes. He goes into Super Saiyan 2, and all three of them head straight back to the demon, hopefully being able to take him out before they get destroyed themselves. We are now back with Vegeta against the Venerable Heir. The Heir has stated that Vegeta has way too much power in the blue form than he should be currently allowed, meaning that Vegeta's blue form is now as strong as it's going to be, but has the potential to be stronger. But the Heir is literally digging into Vegeta's side by saying if this is incorrect, well, Bulma won't last till the end of the day, because remember, he sent his minion after Bulma to really push Vegeta over the edge. Vegeta says, "I won't pay any attention to your pitiful provocations, Moonface. I know these young people inside and out, and I know they won't fail. However, you're a little too prone to opening your big mouth for our interim god of destruction. Let's let our fist finish the conversation, shall we?" The Heir is ecstatic about this because remember, this stop on planet Sadala is literally just a pit stop. It's not even something that he really desired to stay there long term, but it's turning out to be a great blessing for him because now he's testing out his strength as a interim god of destruction, or essentially like a god of destruction in training against a mere mortal. He now wishes that this fight could last forever. But before the fight gets started, Vegeta realizes a horrible truth. That is that Bulma's ki is gone. And if you don't know what happened, I'm gonna leave a link to the video prior to this one. Go ahead and check it out. This is enough to push Vegeta into hyper-realistic cel-shading Dark Horse type of manga panel, because this is gorgeous. Vegeta is thinking the worst at this point. He thinks that Bulma has finally met her mark because everybody else could not protect her. I mean, they are going against somebody that is around the same level as the gods, so yeah, it would have been far-fetched for them to be able to protect Bulma on their own without a few sacrifices along the way, which is what ended up happening. And the Heir couldn't be happier because he's noticed the exact same thing. My Bulma is gone. Her ki has completely disappeared. And Vegeta's not thinking that Bulma had some sneaky plan up her sleeve. No, Vegeta's thinking that this guy killed Bulma. One of his henchmen killed her on his behalf. So Vegeta is about to get cracked here because even the Venerable Heir is ecstatic to see what's gonna happen next. Vegeta goes berserk in Super Saiyan Blue while transforming into something that we've never seen before. The Venerable Heir also explodes, knowing that, yeah, he can't just stay where he's at right now. He needs to take it up a notch as well because Vegeta's coming out for blood. He has bloodlust in his eyes. We are immediately interrupted with the fight against one of the Venerable Heir's other henchmen. This guy is the trickster. He's the one that made Broly go berserk and attack the rest of the planet Sadala soldiers. And so this is something that the king cannot let stand. He's feeling it. He's feeling like a bunch of ki just disappear all over the planet. Everybody he's known is getting murked. And on top of that, he can also feel the ki from Vegeta's wife completely gone. And the only thing that this guy's got to say to that is, then the cleaning is effective, which probably the worst thing to say. This is where the king of Planet Sadala really takes a turn here, because he is literally just kind of blaming himself for all this, which he is a little bit to blame. He has spent so much of his life not wanting to use the Super Saiyan transformation, not trying to use the abilities of the Super Saiyan and be extremely peaceful, which, as you guys can see with Kaba, it is effective in making everybody very lazy. So even when Vegeta's coming to train everybody, he's been on the back burner, and when his planet got invaded by these gods, he has really, it took him a while to basically jump in. It really took until Broly was berserk for him to do anything or to confront anybody. And now he blames himself for the deaths of the children and the soldiers and the citizens of planet Sadala. Vidula is just so happy. He's having the time of his life. He thinks these are big words for somebody who hasn't even landed a finger on him. Remember, he's using this sort of teleportation magic to not only transport other beings and just their attacks, but also himself. So he is probably the biggest instigator in all of Kakumei history. Like, this guy is insufferable. I love him. But all that talking really bit him in the ass here. And I mean, this is like some of the most gruesome Kakumei images that I've seen in a very long time. Like, look at this. Look at the blood just shooting out of his mouth. The king has struck him finally, while he is so busy gloating about not being hit, which is probably the dumbest thing to gloat about, because then you're gonna get hit. He doesn't even have time to curse him out completely because he gets hit yet again, and this time an uppercut in the stomach. This guy's not really physically strong. It's his magic that's strong, and so somebody like the king, it's a perfect type of fight for him because he is kind of rusty, hasn't fought for a long time, isn't anywhere near close to the level as Vegeta. But at the same time, he is the strongest Saiyan, at least he was the strongest Saiyan, for a very long time on the planet. And then he uses ki manipulation. I love it. He makes himself a battle axe through his own ki. This could be a heavy metal rock poster right here. I absolutely fucking love this. It just looks so raw on so many different levels. I can't even tell you how good this looks without going into an entire other video about it. Like, this, the artwork for Kakumei deserves a video of its own, honestly, but he looks fantastic. And of course he's gonna do what he wants to do with that axe, and that is cut my boy's arm off. And then the king stops momentarily to ask him a question about the demons, and if they love the darkness, why do they always come out and try to absorb light? Dula only has one answer to this. He says, it's because we are born from chaos. It's just what we do. What? Okay, that is sick. It looks like that's his arm, the demon's arm, going right through the king's stomach. Like, look at that. I'm gonna have to do a warning for this video. Like, look at the blood just shooting right out of his chest. This is insane. Like, the blood is splurting right out of his mouth. This is a death shot. He created a portal in the nick of time, using that arm that was just severed as a weapon against the king to basically go in for a killing shot. This guy is completely insane. Not only is he durable enough to take hits from a Super Saiyan king, but at the exact same time, he has the magic to be able to face off against somebody like Broly. But the king realizes there's only one more thing that he can do. And so he uses all the ki in his body and focuses all into his fist. And with that, as you guys can see right here, it's embodiment all around his fist. It just looks so darn cool. He sears the wound closed, and you can even see sound effects here of it burning the skin. It's burning his skin. He feels the pain, but he's not reacting to it, which is something that the demon doesn't realize what the hell's going on. I mean, look how beat up he is. Like, he has been acting and reacting to this pain all day long, but the king does not feel it. After searing it, and you can see here that it is coming out of his mouth, because this was literally his stomach. So him searing it and trying to close it up probably means he doesn't really have a stomach anymore, but I mean, the steam is coming out of his mouth, so there's probably still some fluidity in that. But it is time for the king to take this seriously, because he did promise Vegeta that he would give it his all when it comes to fighting these monsters. With that, the king begins to harness energy, and you can see right here how happy he is, because he realizes that the only way to kill this creature is to sacrifice himself as well, and to sacrifice every portion of ki that he's got in his body, sacrificing all his belief, sacrificing everything he stood for, sacrificing the one thing that he told himself he wouldn't be doing. He told Vegeta basically he wouldn't be doing up until this point, and that is go into Super Saiyan, proper Super Saiyan, for the first time in I don't even know how long. He told it in his story at one point that he even tried to go into it. But yes, he finally goes into Super Saiyan. The beard with the hair, he just looks so freaking rad. Even got the little hair coming off here, like he looks like a Viking Super Saiyan. I think this is probably one of the coolest images in Kakumei. We now cut back because remember, Kakumei is taking a little hiatus till I think October or November, so we're getting through all these stories as fast as possible. But we cut back to the other Venerable Heirs demon, the assassin, who is now being used as a punching bag by a secret technique from the Tuffle Saiyan hybrid, the one that was attacking him in the last chapter. And he explains that he is neither Saiyan nor Tuffle. He is just a child of planet Sadala, so he is something in between. Remember, in planet Sadala's Universe 6, he and the rest of the Tuffles live side by side with the Saiyans, and he is one of the very few hybrids that is able to use the Saiyan strength and abilities and uses the Tuffle technology in mind. But the demon's not hearing any of this and attacks him again right in the stomach. I mean, he must realize at this point this is not gonna do much because he just pops up right behind him and attacks him again with the exact same attack, the one attack that is doing so much damage to him that he can't get past. These holograms that the Tuffle is using are just so detailed. They have smell, they give off heat, they just seem like carbon copies of the original, and the magician is trying to figure out how this works. The Tuffle finds this hilarious because it's like, why as a magician are you trying to rationalize what's going on here? And I think that the demon is starting to like Peppino a little bit more. He's starting to like him because he is just drastically as a mortal just trying his hardest to defeat this demon, and he's doing a pretty bang up job here, but I feel like there is going to be an ending here that is not going to be fair for Peppino. But before that, he gets hit again with this devastating attack, this time double by both the hologram and the original, and this attack is almost, I would say, like Rasengan kind of. It feels the way that it is. They had it at the very end of the last chapter where he had developed it and he showed it off, but now he's realizing that he can use it with other holograms as well, so it's almost like this character has become Naruto by using clones and using Rasengan attacks. And this is cool because the demon is trying to analyze like his attack and who he is, and even though the attack is doing a lot of damage, the abilities, the strength, the speed, everything is just still the same. And you can see right here, like it almost looks like chakra points, and it just seems very Naruto-esque. At least this battle reminds me of Naruto, or some of the fights in Naruto. And he even claims that the attack isn't even up to speed, like it's not 100%, it's very, very small, it's not fully powered up yet. But the demon still has one more attack up his sleeve and attacks him with a devastating ki surge, and this one is enough to go right through his body and fully put him down on the ground. While the Tuffle's body restructures and repairs itself because that's some of the technology that they have in place, yeah, this attack is called the anti-space punch, meaning that he can attack from wherever he's at and it will feel like he's right next to him attacking him. So these punches are as devastating, if not more, because of the fact that he can attack them wherever he is. He can be really far away and these punches will hit just like if he was right next to them. So this is a devastating magic trick. And just the fighting between a magic user and a technology user is why this part of the chapter is so interesting. And it looks like it's over for this guy. He's still restructuring, he's still healing, but the demon's punches are used in this anti-space trick, I guess, magic trick. And he's hitting him almost like Luffy is, with thousands of punches at the exact same time. So many that he's literally frying his body faster than his body can heal. Like, this is just devastating to the poor guy, and he tried his hardest here to really save some time, buy some time for Bulma and the rest of them, but he's getting toasted up here. He's getting clapped up here. And all it takes is one last punch, one last good punch for him to be put down permanently. But that's when the demon gets hit in the side and thrown into the side of a rock bed. As the smoke begins to clear, he looks onward and he's like, you're back. You make my job so much easier, meaning that now he doesn't have to track these guys down. He can destroy them and use the magic of interrogation to kind of try to figure out where the hell is Bulma, because the Saiyans are finally back. We see Kaba and Caulifla both in Super Saiyan 2. Not sure what they're going to do against this guy like that, but maybe they have Super Saiyan 3 right up their sleeve. But we'll see when the next chapter comes out what is going to happen next. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.